I love memes that are worth more than 1,000 words. But wait, can you get more with that? Of course, wait, there's more. Buy our BS about the Delta and we'll throw in the Omicron variant absolutely free. Hey guys, one of the reasons I promote things on my channel is because I use them. And I use them because I believe they benefit me. They help promote strength, endurance, and energy. Energy? I could use some freaking energy around here. A lot of nature's top fruits and vegetables that support a healthy heart, circulatory system, and high energy happen to be red. So come on, spit it out. Where do we get some of this red stuff? I drink Eternal Reds because it's got 8 specific foods that promotes energy. And these foods would be costly and time consuming to get in your typical diet. So click the link in the description and grab some energy. Oh, Jacinda Ardern weighed in today. Wait till you hear what falls from this tyrant's lips. Hit it, Jacinda.
And importantly, because I know this is a question many Aucklanders have, you can now see family and friends again in their homes and use the bathroom inside. Luxury.
Now, I'm going to play this again because, I don't know, maybe your jaw dropped to the desk and you couldn't hear everything she just said. But guys, that is basically Mommy Jacinda telling you little boys and girls in Auckland in New Zealand that you can now use the bathroom in your friend's house. We're going to allow you to do that now, little boys and girls. Listen to it again.
And importantly, because I know this is a question many Aucklanders have, you can now see family and friends again in their homes.
You can now see family. Guys, if you stopped seeing family and friends because the government told you to stop visiting family and friends, then you are what's wrong with the world. It's not even so much Jacinda Ardern that's the problem with the world. It's the people who are obeying the Jacinda Arderns or the Mao Zedongs or the Joseph Stalins or the Adolf Hitlers of the world. It's those people who are complying with that authority. They're the problems in the world, because you can have a handful of psychopaths out there going, you will do this, and their words will completely fall to the ground as long as people don't comply. You got anybody who's listening to this woman and not playing a continual laugh track in their mind going, who? Jacinda who? Ardern? Who's that? The problem with this world is the compliant ones who are negotiating with terrorists and tyrants. When you negotiate with and comply and roll over for a terrorist or a tyrant, guess what you get? You get more tyrants and more tyranny because they go, wow, that was easy. We actually told them they can't have Thanksgiving dinner, and guess what? You're not going to believe it. They obeyed us. While they're smoking their black dragons and throwing back a couple of cases of cognac. These guys. Now you can visit your family and friends, and you can even, if you have to go, you can go to the bathroom.
And use the bathroom inside. Luxury.
Look at this sign. Look at this sign behind him. Unlock the things you love. My VAXX pass. Unlock the things you love. What is the key that gets inserted into the lock where I can unlock the things that I love? Oh, that's right. It's Moderna. It's Pfizer. It's AstraZeneca. It's Johnson & Johnson. That's the key to my prosperity and to my freedom. This says Black uses a picture of a white family for target practice and declares open season on white people while pointing it at people walking down the street. Watch this.
Look at that. You know what I mean? Got the whole family. Got the grandma, got the mama, and the little white troglodyte little baby. Look, got him right in his mouth. I'm hunting troglodytes. It's open season on the motherfucking cracker. And I'm pitting on my mother wall.
Wow, that is just crazy, man. I wonder if Don Lemon saw this, if he did see it, if he would actually play it on Don Lemon Live. Bet you he wouldn't.
Yep. I'm taking a shot. Her ain't her fucking baby. I'm taking a shot. It's open season on the troglodyte caveman. I got a troglodyte. I'm about to shoot the back of this head off. White people. Yeah. We got another Neanderthal walking down my motherfucking block. Off with the caveman's head. cave woman, bitch!
Wow, that's crazy stuff, man. My son got his second dose today, November 26, 2021. He put up a screaming fight over it because his father brainwashed him, but it's over and Santa will bring him presents, and not just for his sister. Santa did the trick. So she conned the kid out of, letting go of his right to not want to be jabbed and bow down at the altar of Jabba with, Santa's not going to visit you. He knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you're jabbed or not. So you better get jabbed, for goodness sake. He's also now allowed to go see grandma too. Sadly, he's such a little drama queen and has been crying for hours like a baby in his room, screaming about a big headache. Whatever, it's done. I mean, guys, if this is legit, this is so heartless, man. Forcing your child who trusts you into bowing down at the altar of Jabbo, and now, if this is true, he's screaming about having a headache after having bowed down at the altar at Jabbo. And we've seen some of these reactions. We've gone to their site. We've read some of the testimonies on it. If this is true, this is just so out of control. It's not even funny. Remember when I did that video yesterday about India, that place in India? There's 3.9 million people in Orangapah, India. I can't remember exactly how to pronounce it, but they've actually said you cannot buy groceries and you cannot get fuel until you bow down at the altar of Jabbo. So they're basically starving people out. And if you're caught giving food and fuel to people who have not bowed down at the altar of Jabbo, well, you'll be dealt with by the authorities. So we saw that's going on in India, and people are constantly going, oh, that'll never happen here in America. Americans aren't going to tolerate that. It's like Americans will never put up with fiat currency backed by the Zio International Banking Cartel. 1913 comes and goes. Here we are with a Federal Reserve note. Americans are never going to put up with the income tax. That's just not going to fly. Here we go. What are we? Over 107 years later, and we still have the income tax with us. It's like the only thing for sure in this life is death and taxes. Yeah, you're definitely going to get taxed. Well, it's the IRS. We just got to live with our new normal. There's no way we're ever going to tolerate the domestic terror service that has what it takes to take what you've got. And yet, here we are tolerating the IRS. There's no way we're going to deal. America will not tolerate the war on drugs, which is really a war on people. Ever since 1971, over 50 years now, as of August 1971, we've had the war on the war on drugs for over 50 years. Oh yeah, Americans will never put up with that. How about this? Americans will never put up with wearing masks like they do in socialist China. And yet here we are. They're not going to not see their parents during Thanksgiving and Christmas because the health authorities told them. And here we are. They're never going to get jabbed. They're never going to do this social distancing. They're never going to submit to contact tracing. Yeah. And they're never going to tolerate, you don't get groceries unless you get jabbed. You don't get fuel unless you get jabbed. Oh, really? What's the precedent for us not tolerating that? Can you just clue me in on that? Eric Swalwell. This comes from politicasusa.com. I'm going to expand this so you can actually see this, because people are calling for you and I to be backed against the wall and forced to take something even though you're healthy and you don't need it. A frustrated Eric Swalwell erupts on those who won't get VA-XX. What does Eric Swalwell say? I'm losing my COVID patients. I've tried to reason with the unvaxxed. I've directed some to medical pros. I don't judge, but hear them out and steer them to facts. The unvaxxed love to say it's about choice, but you know who doesn't have a choice? My 3 kids under 5 years old. That's 1 of 3. Blah, blah, blah. You have a right not to get vaxxed. Fine. Then business and government have the right to tell you that you're not welcome to patronize or you can't get on a plane. Because what right do you think you have to expose my kids to your convid? As parents, let's own the outrage. The loony carnival barkers at the school board meetings do not reflect where most parents are. Really? Do you have inroads? Are you God? Are you omniscient? Are you all-knowing? Do you know exactly what's in the hearts of everybody? Do you know for a fact? And not that this matters. It doesn't matter. if the unvaxxers are in the minority or the majority, because it doesn't matter. What does matter is it right to force somebody against their will to do something that they don't want to do? That's the problem. And are you really going to trust the people who will be directly enriched by selling a product to the masses through fake stream media? Are you really going to do that? Do you really trust people who are going to make billions upon billions of dollars for each and every successive variant and formulation that comes down the pike? I like what Dave Champion said today. He said Pfizer and Moderna are working on an Omicron-specific version of their mRNA VAXXs. Imagine $60 billion worth of people already VAXXed who need another $60 billion in vax due to a variant. Awake yet? The un-VAXX with prior infection immunity can start laughing now. Do not reflect to where most parents are. Your un-VAXX status is creating new variants, so get your damn, you know what, or stay inside your house, but don't mess with my kids, says Swalwell. And this writer says Swalwell is correct. The loud minority always gets all of the media's attention. Oh, really? What media outlet besides Fox News is getting the media's attention, the unvaxxed getting media attention? He's also right about the un-VAXX created environment for the virus to mutate and prosper. The un-VAXX are hosts that allow new variants of COVID to spread with ease. The vast majority of parents in America are fed up with the... Yeah, look how these people can speak for all Americans. He is right about the un-VAXX created an environment for the VIRUS to mutate and prosper. Prove it. Prove any of that right there. The un-VAXX are hosts that allow new variants of COVID to spread with these guys. They're actually assuming you've got it. Oh, you're healthy and you have no signs of being unhealthy, no signs of being infected or diseased or anything. You're not sick, but they're going to assume that you got something. It's amazing, man. The vast majority of parents and Americans are fed up with the un-VAXX. Even if that was true, so what? It's a free country. By the way, isn't that why you got VAXXed? Didn't you bow down at the altar of Jabbo to protect yourself from somebody like me who doesn't want to get it? Isn't that the whole point? It's so crazy, man. I'm trying to picture myself as somebody who is a VAXXer who's already gotten the protection. Why would I care if you've got it if I already got it? The history of pandemics suggests that COVID has one of two likely endings. Oh, okay. They're going to box us into two scenarios. There's only two scenarios. Either people get VAXXed and the number of human hosts and spreaders declines to the point where the virus is very manageable to non-existent. How about not existent at all ever? Or people don't get VAXXed. COVID continues to refine itself and eventually kills the un-VAXXed. Well, if it's going to kill the un-VAXXed, don't you kind of want that, you VAXXers? Don't you just kind of, haven't you kind of got to the end of your rope with us un-VAXXers? Don't you want to just kind of rid the earth of us so that you can have free reign to do whatever you want to as you bow down and submit to the overlords and authorities? It's the grim second possibility that America is trying to avoid. Representative Swalwell is correct, and the right can't talk about the facts. Oh, yeah, so it's the right. I'm neither right nor left, but I'll tell you what, I am not bowing down at the altar of Jabbo because Anthony Fraudstey told me to, because Donald Lemon from CNN tried to guilt trip me into it, or because all the medical experts and authorities who've been wrong so many times, like, have they ever been right? Cutter incident, Tuskegee experiment, 3 Mile Island, and on and on and on the insanity goes. Operation Fishbowl, Operation Mockingbird, Operation MK Ultra. So they have revived the debunked Fang smear against him. Eventually, America will either impose a VAXX mandate or allow the un-VAXX to die for their warped death cult definition of freedom. But most Americans are tired of trying to save those who don't want to be saved. I don't want to be saved. I just want to be left alone. Hey guys, we know with the way things have been going, it can get really interesting really quick. So make sure you and your family have a long-term storable food supply. Support the channel and get $50 off with my link in the description while you still can.